Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and what you're watching is the ringleader of the G3 drama getting the justice that they literally deserved. Let me give you a little bit of context for those of you that missed out on a series of my drama videos. And don't worry, I'll link them at the end so you can watch them later. And by the way, if you haven't already subscribed, man, there is awesome stuff dropping every single day on this channel. And I've got over 1,700 videos dedicated to making you a better player. So consider subscribing. Let me bring you to speed. We had an alliance that for multiple KVKs was not hitting the sorts of targets that we were looking for as a kingdom for contribution. And so finally, we felt like we had to ask them to leave. Now, this was in part because of the contribution issues, in part because of some difficult personalities. One of those players, who is actually the ringleader of all of this drama we're experiencing now, is someone we are getting to zero. They left their peace shield off, and you may be like, why are you zeroing a 152 million power player? What's wrong with you? Well, here's a little bit of context into what's going on here. This player is currently holding 8 Alliance shells hostage. That's right. 8, I believe, max tech shells are being held hostage by this players. And if they aren't all max tech, it doesn't really matter. You get the idea. So in addition, they tried to ruin an arranged mightiest governor. And in addition, we had an agreement with this alliance. We gave the most generous severance package I think has ever been offered to an alliance in Rise of Kingdoms history that it did not perform, which is that they could have stayed as long as they wanted, as long as they fulfilled the kingdom's power drop goals. They got their end of KVK rewards, and they could take their time to find a new kingdom to go to, and they could just chill. No problem. But a lot of people, they took that up, man. But I Am Jolly is the ringleader of these problems here. He's, again, holding 8 shells hostage, trying to ruin arranged mightiest governors. And this is just tip of the iceberg. I mean, in general, you see the marker here. He's playing tennis. I mean, during Kingsland, the dude was playing tennis instead of actually helping in Kingsland. But on top of that, they were holding R5 of the shells, so we were struggling with all kinds of captain swapping and getting R4s to be titled. And, I mean, you get the drill here. So now they've been rallied 2 volleys from 152 million down to 130 million. And then from 130 million to 113 million. And here's the third volley. And this is all huge upside for us as a kingdom. Because not only has this person been a sort of, I don't know, ringleader for underperformance of this alliance. And look, it like stems from the leadership of the alliance. It really does, okay? But also, they are preventing us from getting the kind of migration we want to have into the kingdom. For those that don't know, the way that Imperium works in Rise of Kingdoms is that the top kingdoms by power are constrained on the number of people and really the amount of power they can bring into the kingdom. So this player is over 150 million power. He's literally the maximum dead weight that he can possibly be. And he's intentionally staying here to make our migration worse than it could be. All right. So getting this zeroing is just straight up more people we get into the kingdom who are actually going to show up for the team. So this is such a huge W for 254. And everybody, I mean, look, you know, people are definitely hurting on the amount of power drop that we all have done to get this big migration in. And so it's just such a huge win. Everybody's really eager to contribute their troops to get this to happen. So now he's down to 96 million power. The final volley hits here. And unfortunately, the dude either gets home from his tennis match or wakes up or whatever, pops on the peace shield. GG, man. GG. Let's go look at these reports real quick. All right, first report from these double rallies is War Daddy Chad. 80,000 dead for War Daddy Chad, 733,000 dead for the city. That is a Jad YSS on the wall here. And we gotta look at the stats. The cavalry stats for the XY Nevsky in the rally. Almost 200 attack, 147.5 cav defense, 122 health. The city's stats are over here. Now, I don't know if he's actually wearing any equipment or maybe he's just using mixed troop equipment. I don't think he's wearing any equipment. We're not in KVK, so there's no KVK boosts here. There's no half back for your troops. They're all just straight gone. This is all happening in Home Kingdom. But I feel like if you're going to go rogue, you really ought to prioritize putting your equipment on your city wall rather than your canyon teams. Like, I know you're having fun just sniping in canyon or whatever, but like, anyways, thank you for this gift of not having a decked out city garrison. So yeah. And by the way, you saw some people swarming while that city was getting zeroed. Those are people that had further dead troop requirements they hadn't fulfilled. So they're just sort of dropping further troops. So all the people swarming, you may be like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? Like they're losing troops for the migration to hit their power targets. This is all like, it's fine, okay? It's fine. Next report here. Let's get a look. Second volley. We've got the XY Nevsky. 78,000, almost 79,000 dead for us to 700,000 dead for him. Next volley. We got to look at this report. And the number is 83,000 dead to 424,000. This might have to do with like rally positioning. I think it might have been tanking at this point, actually. Oh, and this is Attila Takeda. That's what the big change is. This is Attila Takeda. Pay attention, Chisgule. Yeah, so we got an Attila Takeda here. Still a perfectly fine report. And then if we look at the tanking rallies, here is the first Attila Takeda to hit his city, and it's 500,000 dead to 1 million dead. And you'll notice something funny here. Why is there so little hospital capacity? And I think the dude was, I don't know, so busy doing, the sniping from Mightiest Governor, which he failed at, by the way, that he left his hospital but didn't, like, heal it all the way. Like, I think he already had a mostly full hospital here when this all started. So, again, 457,000 to 1,081,000 dead troops. And if we just look at the Attila Takeda stats real quick, we're looking at 249 attack, 124.5 cav defense, 117 health. And oh yeah, I mean, we can see with the iconics here, like he's got nothing on his city garrison. This is no good for him. Okay, and if we look at the next report from COA, that report is going to be 316,000 to 943,000 deads. And then the final report is going to be 386, almost 387,000 dead to 1.176 million dead troops. My God, man. Attila Takeda is just absolutely disgusting. And let's go back to one of those first reports just to look at the troop breakdown in this dude's city here. What are we working with? They got 2.7 million T5 archers, some T4 archers, 500,000 T5 siege, 3 million T5 cavalry, 3 million T5 infantry, 265,000 T1 siege. Whoops. You really don't... Like, why does he need all that T1 siege? Given that he's got all that T5 siege. Anyways, 133,000 T4 infantry, 52,000 T4 siege, 318,000 of the T4 cavalry. Oh my God, man. This is just a disaster. So, look, I know that when it's like just a game, okay? People give this like, it's just a game argument. You could do whatever you want. But that like really doesn't excuse like being unkind to an entire community, right? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like it would have been really great if instead of going rogue, they could have said, you know what? All right, I'll leave the kingdom. I see you don't want me here. But instead, right? They tried to steal Mightiest Governor. They tried to wreck our migration. And they're currently holding 8 shells hostage. I mean, at any point, they could decide to be the bigger person here and just give them back and say, you know what? All right, I'll leave. But that's simply not where we're at. So they're not fully zeroed yet. I'm sure there will be more drama that happens. Maybe we will have the opportunity to full zero them. If you haven't already subscribed, do so you don't miss it. And if you missed the earlier G3 drama where it might have been this person who was sharing these like kind of weird messages, I'll have 2 videos for you, one over here and one over there in the end credits so you can go and get a look. And maybe you'll have a better sense now of why, like, in some of those videos, I was acting a little bit frustrated, okay, toward the individual or group that we had a sense would go rogue like this. And here we are. It was kind of predictable.